We're at the Hillsdale Lake State Park, and we're just doing kind of a walk around the campground right now. I think the primary thing to point out is how big the spaces are. And we're in a gravel site, quite a few paved sites as well. And this is a paved site with nothing on it. Kind of similar to the gravel sites, I actually think these are a little bit longer. What do you think?
Yeah, the concrete sites seem to be slightly longer and slightly wider. My understanding is they're going through and converting all of them, but there's no timeline and we haven't seen any construction work while doing it, so I don't know if it's in the off season or what. For the most part, the paved sites are on the outskirts except for this loop, but typically if you reserve a spot on the inner loop, yeah, on the outer loops.
The outer loop.
On the outer loops. It's a paved site. It's very hard to see from Google Maps which ones are paved and which ones aren't, and there's no indication on the website, but so you kind of have to pick and hope for the best, but there's not a bad site to be had for sure.
So all the sites are like very large. Like you'll see us passing large fifth wheels that are easily within the site. And then like every site is electric. This is the Sunflower Loop.
The Sunflower Loop is full hookups. All of the other loops are electric and water, and then there's, I think, one primitive. There's also laundry here, which I didn't know. The website said it had it and we couldn't find it because we're on the full hookups loop and there was no laundry. But it is in Crappie Cove and Pintail Point. There's laundry facilities. Do not go into town to the nearest laundry facility. It's a waste of time. So
the city is Spring Hill.
Yep.
And there's a laundromat there that we stopped into and promptly left.
Yep. As did other campers in the area who told us where the laundry facilities were in the state park.
I'm gonna flip around here. This is the bathhouse. There's parking in front of the bathhouse so that if you wanted to drive over, you can. There are showers on one side and restrooms on the other. They are not paid for. They're nice little areas here. So the shower and like a little changing area. Hi, Emily. And there's restrooms on this side. So restrooms on this side, showers on the other side.
Just across from all of the sites, there's a dump station. So even though this is a full hookup site, right across the street in the entrance is a dump station.
So as you drive into the Sunflower Loop, and I think all the loops are like this.
Yes.
There's like a little stand for the camp host. There's also, in addition to the picnic area outside the campground, there's like a little, down this road here, a little picnic area there as well. While we were in Kansas City, we decided that we wanted to get the rubber caps back on this entryway piece. So I removed it by drilling out the 3 rivets. Once we were inside, we noticed how dirty it was, so I took up these 2 brackets to make sure we got it completely clean underneath. And then reinstalled them each as I finished up each one. The rubber pieces were actually a little challenging to get back on, but once they were, I got it back aligned in place and reinstalled all 3 rivets. Replacing the rivets isn't as challenging as you might think. We are walking out the door for a couple of pickups at the UPS store and Target, and then an Amazon locker. And I am pointing this direction because we are replacing that mattress today. I probably wouldn't have thought of getting a new mattress after really what is probably 4 months on this one, except for this mattress has become terribly uncomfortable. Putting the new mattress in wasn't all that difficult. Since everything comes through the door, it was easy to get the old one out. Then we brought the new one in boxed. Once we had it nearly in place, we unrolled it, we broke the seal, and got it completely in place. This bed is far more comfortable than our original bed. And even the dogs agree. After we both took a test drive, it was on to making the bed.
We are standing outside of the Harry S. Truman Visitor Center, and we are going to take at least partake in part of the walking tour. As we make our way to his house, we have a guided tour there in about 20 minutes. So first stop is the fire station, which is now the visitor center.
Since we didn't say it before, we are in Independence, Missouri.
I don't know, it's a pretty good looking jail. Oh, that's the jail. I was gonna say, might not be too bad. Clinton's drugstore, and then across, I am without a doubt, this is something. I just gotta look at it on my map. So this is the courthouse.
We got to tour the Truman Home, which is where Harry and Bess lived before the presidency and after the presidency. It was interesting to see how they lived. Across the street, we also toured the Nolan Home.
Oh, we made a good time. We got here before the kids.
We're on Truman Road, and we have now visited the visitor center for the Truman House. We have walked through Harry and Bess's house, and then the house across the street, which I can't think of the name of right now.
Nolan, I think.
Nolan, you're right. And I think it was really interesting. And I think some of the quotes were very interesting. Like, they have one on the wall at the Nolan house that was something to the effect of like, I didn't want to think of myself as Harry from Independence, Missouri, making decisions as the most powerful person in the world. But I just thought it was interesting. Like, he was the president, and then he wasn't the president. And when he wasn't the president, he didn't want anything to do with it.
Yep. And during the tour, that's what they said is when they moved back from D.C., or he moved back from D.C., they just kind of wanted to go back to being Harry and Bess, and Secret Service told them they had to build a fence. There was a fence around the house, and people would line up around the fence to see them while they were outside eating breakfast, lunch, dinner, and they just wanted to go back to being themselves. Once we finished the tour, we went to Up Dawg.
What's up, dog?
What's up, dog? And we both had Missouri hot dogs, which were very good. It's just a couple blocks away in between the visitor center and the Truman House.
Up next is go get the dogs out.